your presentation, you meet with your prospects, they finally book an appointment, then you can talk about yourself, what you used to do and all this good stuff, which we're going to share with you. What is the framework on how to share that story? So you can share that. I like to share that 5 minutes story when I'm doing a presentation. I normally would share the companies I represent, and I show them, hey, thank you for coming. My name is Antoinett. I've been in the industry for this number of years. The reason I got involved was I wanted to understand the game of money, because I realized that if you don't know how money works, somebody's going to make money using your money. When I started in this organization, it was even worse for me not to do it, because I realized that if I don't learn how money works, I'm going to be going from paycheck to paycheck. I work, I make money, but I was not sending my money to work. And a lot of people are in the same situation. They work hard, they make money, they build wealth, but they transfer debt because they don't know how to protect their assets. So when I started in this industry, then I talk about my profession, where I'm coming from, and what my crusade is. Then I continue from there. So every single time, before I do my presentation, I do a little story, which is a 5-minute story. But in that story, I'm not just sharing about where I come from, how I came to Canada, which company, but I'm also putting in the benefits of saying, hey, as I got involved into this industry, I realized that a lot of people are working so hard. They're making money, but they're transferring debt because they don't know how to protect their wealth. Some of them are working so hard, but they are not sending their money to work. So for me, it's to make sure that no family is left behind. So I'm sharing interactive conversation there, then I move on. And then when you look at the one that has slides and pictures, this is your 20-minute story. I did more than a 20-minute story yesterday with my team because I was sharing my story. And with my team, I'm very vulnerable with them. So I'm not going to share my story here. That is the family vulnerable story. But with my team, showing them where I grew up, how I get to where I am today, and how grateful I am to God. It was something that I didn't even know that it's really opened a kind of way. We are a family. Some of them, they call me after, like, Antoinett, oh my God, I really, really resonate with what you shared today. That's your 20-minute story. Because for me, when I look at my story, yes, Edith, your hand is up. Okay, thank you. Your hand is back down. When I look at my story, where I come from, I'm from Zimbabwe. So for those that don't know, originally from Zimbabwe. And, we struggled. I struggled when I was growing up. And those that know me, I lost my parents when I was very young. Both my parents as a teenager. I had to raise my siblings, 4 of them. So life was hard. Came to Canada, worked very hard, like everybody else, paycheck to paycheck. Every day I was praying to God that I don't get fired, because I felt like if I get fired, I'm going to declare bankruptcy. For real. But when a family friend introduced me to this business, I saw a way out. I saw that this was a vehicle that's going to take me where I need to go. I immediately, personally, I signed up on a Saturday. I went to work on Monday. I gave them 3 weeks notice. People ask me, Antoinett, what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea, but this is an amazing opportunity. Everything was 10 feet above my head, but I felt that this was for me. I studied, I got my license, I went to work. I was in Canada 10 years and I could not even travel outside Canada. My first traveling was going to Punta Cana with my girls. That was the first one. My children were so excited every single night. Mommy, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because this is the first time they're going outside. So that's an amazing story. But with a story, it's supposed to inspire you to also want to make a difference in other people's lives. And from there, for me, the rest is history. You guys have heard some of my story when I was sharing on a Saturday with Dr. Kwende, with pictures and everything. That's just a little synopsis of the stories. A lot of things that you need to be able. I was telling my team yesterday, I said, your story has to make you cry. If your story doesn't make you cry, that means you did not do some soul searching. Your story will move you to stay in this business for life. Your story will move you to want to make a difference in other people's lives. Your story will move you to want to help another person. Because every single time you get to the next level, you're going to feel like, oh my God, because that's how I feel every single time. From being an orphan. I'm still an orphan, but I'm older now. Coming from that place where I had to raise my siblings on my own, coming from a place where in Canada, I will go and do grocery and I'm believing God for more money in my account that I don't have while I'm shopping, to a place that now I can do grocery without looking in my bank account. That's a story right there. And when I share this story, I'm inspiring somebody to say, hey, the end of a matter is better than the beginning. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you want to be able to do well in this business. You want to be able to make little strides and continue climbing and be able to inspire somebody. Like I said, people don't care how much you know. It is how you make them feel, because somebody may be struggling right now. When they hear my story, they feel like, you know what, if Antoinett can do it, I can do it too. If she was at a place where she was believing for miracles to have money to do grocery, now she can just buy things without looking. Yes, I'm not reckless. I don't spend my money anyhow, but at least I know when I walk into the grocery store, I don't have to be looking into my account first to say, do I have enough money? Am I going to embarrass myself because the amount that I have is less than the things I put in my cart? So I want every one of you today, make sure you write down your story. Think about exactly from where you were and where you are, and be grateful. You have to be grateful, because every single time I'm going even through difficult, I sit down and I count my blessings. I sit down, I say, Lord, remember this time you saw me through. This time you saw me through. It is not by my own might, but it's by the Spirit of the living God. Thank you for showing me the way. Thank you. So I pray about it. You write your bullet points. You practice putting it together so it flows. You see, when I share my story, I don't need to struggle and think, because your story is supposed to flow, because it's yours. Practice telling the story. Practice with your leader, practice with your family, practice with your kids. You need to tell your story. Even when I do presentation with clients, yes, I tell my little story up front, but as I continue presenting, I say, this is why I do the business, or this is why I like helping family. I can throw in a little bit of that continuation of story as I continue. Maybe I'm talking about protection. I did not talk about how I lost my parents, but now I'm talking about protection. I'm like, listen, I'm very passionate about helping family, because I know how it feels to lose your parent. When you're crying that your parents die, you're also crying, what am I going to eat tomorrow? You are the most important asset in your children's lives. You don't have protection, you need to have it. Because just imagine, is it important that when something happens to you, your children's lifestyle does not get altered? Now I can throw in my little story in there. I lost both my parents when I was young. So when you look at that,
we can
as you
interchange.
continue, you can be sharing your story. You need to be very good, and it's something that is, you're honest about it. I can guarantee you, each and every one of you that's here today, you do have a story that is moving. But a lot of times we're trying to bury that story because we don't want to remember what happened. We don't want to remember the pains. But you don't know that your pain can help somebody else that is going through the same. You can be a living testimony to somebody else that is going through hard time. Now let's look at what are the bullet points from there? What did you used to do? I came from the, accounting background. I love my numbers. I didn't like people, to be honest. I love everyone now because I had to learn to put my mouth where my money is. So I love Sean, I love Bat, I love Mavis, I love everybody, because now I had to learn. So some of you like, I'm a nurse, I'm a this. You learn to put your mouth where your money is. You're going to love everybody. You're going to talk to everything that moves. You have to. So now I smile. Honestly, when I was in accounting, I just face front my numbers, figure out how can I do these balance sheets, profit and loss, the ledger. Why is it not balancing in my cubicle? Don't lift up my head, do my work. But now I've learned to understand how to talk to people. So you will learn. You're going to learn. What did you used to do? You share with people. I come from a financial background, or I come from a nursing background. I was introduced to this platform by a family friend. And I'm grateful to the people that invited me to this platform because it opened my eyes, right? I was introduced to this platform. It has changed my life. Now I understand how to make money and send money to work for me. Now I understand how to grow my money above the cost of living. Now I understand how, if anything happens to me, I can transfer wealth rather than transferring debt. And my crusade is to make sure that no family is left behind. I want to make sure I help a lot of people in our community. I want to make a difference in people's lives. People don't care how much you know. They care how you make them feel. They want to relate with you. Most of the time we come and we try to master the presentation. We're cold and just presenting and presenting. It's not about that. So you have to relate. So your story is what caused you to close, because people want to know, why are you doing this? Is it about the bottom line, your money, or is it about making sure that they are helped? And when you make them feel that it's all about them, they will come back with 10 numbers, 15 numbers, 20 numbers, telling everything that moves. Say, this is a person that I can assure you they're going to help you. Because how you made them feel, they felt you really care. And I always tell my people, my clients, I say, listen, for me, it's a mission before the commission. My mission is to make sure that no family is left behind. And I don't like selling, I like helping. The way I look at this company, we have more products that we represent, companies that we represent. At the end of the day, I'm like a money doctor. Based on your needs, your objective, your time horizon, I give a prescription that works based on your needs. Whichever way I go, I still get paid. But what is the best product for you? What is the best company for you? You're sharing what is about you. So when they get something, they realize, you know what? This is the best thing that I ever done, because this lady did not sell to me. Rather, she's looking out for my best interest. She's looking out. So story continues as you're doing even your presentation. Story continues even when you're building your team, because when you are talking to your team, you need to listen to them. Every single time with my team, they're going through some difficulties. I say, remember why you joined this business. You said this and this and this. But that has not happened yet. Remember my own story. This is where I am. If I can do it, you can do it too. You need to inspire your team. I inspired my team before I was even an MD. Titles don't matter. It is what you say at the end of the day. You need to be able to inspire your team with your story and your journey. And your stories change as you continue. What are your past void and your unmet current desires? For me, when I started this business, once, like I said, I was literally, this is no joke, one paycheck away to bankruptcy. If they were to fire me, I'm done. Because it was really paycheck to paycheck. I was in credit card debt, 10 years in the country, was never taught about how money works, just get into credit card, didn't know it's not my money, just like everybody else, until interest started piling. So there was pain. So I was looking for an opportunity, but I never found one. But WFG found me. When they spoke to me, I asked them, are you guys hiring? They were just doing an overview presentation. I said, are you guys hiring? They said, this is not a job. It's a business opportunity. I said, I'm in. I actually saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I had no idea what this was about. So you could be here and everything is 10 feet above your head. You have no idea why you're here, but you just felt inspired to be part of this crusade. Trust me, it will end in glory for you. So you share your past void. And also, what caused you to change, to make a change? What caused you to make a change? For me, it was just I was dead broke, so I needed money. Some of you are here for money. Or every time, now it's no longer money. I used to see every person I saw a dollar sign. If I see anybody walking, I will see Sean walking, I see a dollar sign. I see Melvis walking, dollar sign. Money, money, money. But guess what? I wouldn't just go and say money, money, money. I had to find a way. How can I help this family so in return I get the money? So it's a mission before the commission. We're all here for money, but we have to, your input determines your outputs. I made a change because I wanted to rewrite my story. It's not how I was born or grew up, it's who I become. So I saw a way out that was in my control. WFG is in your control, guys. It's in your control because you are the captain in your boat. Actors don't die. Part 2 comes. When chapter 1, you feel like, oh my God, they'll say part 2 is coming. Rewrite your story. What changes do you want to make right now that you're here? Is it because of an event? Is it because of your mentor? Is it because of your family? What's the shift that you shifted to be here, to be in this organization? What caused you to change? Because when you remember what caused you to change, you will never quit from this business. Because you don't want to go back to the way you were before. Maybe some of you were good financially, but you were working 3-4 jobs. Is that what you want? Maybe some of you were good before, but there was still a void in life that you felt like there are some goals and dreams you can't meet. Maybe some of you want to buy a house, or yours is traveling. Maybe yours you need money for medication. Maybe yours you just need to put food on your table. What made you to sign up in this amazing organization? That's your story to tell. How has your current situation changed? You might not see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but I guarantee you the education that you're getting right now. Because when I started this business, I said to myself, if this business doesn't work out, I can walk away with knowledge. I saw something already that was going to be something great for me. Worst comes to the worst, I was going to walk away with knowledge. So either way, it was a win-win. It was a win-win. What are your thoughts about this business? How has your current situation changed? Are you more hopeful? Are you clear winning? Do you have a clear winning path, better horsepower for your future? What is it? My girls, both of them, one of them is going to do a master's now. One is doing her bachelor's. I can tell you right now, financially, thank God for WFG because I don't know if I would ever afford to send them to university. Next week, we are going to see a residence place for my daughter that's doing a master's. We're going to rent a place for her because she's going away from the house. And she's already looking at, Mommy, I want this bedroom to look like this. I sit down, I say, when I was growing up, I had no bedroom. You're talking about you want the bedroom to be like this, to be like that. It is well. But I'm grateful to God that WFG has given me the opportunity to give my children the lifestyle that I never had. So why are you here? So those are the things that until you have a story to tell, you can never quit. And that's why you should get up every single time and talk to people and share your story and share your dream and inspire somebody. How do you plan to help others based on your own experience? Your vision, your future vision. I always wanted to give back to orphans, but the opportunity was not there. 9 to 5 wasn't going to give me that. So now this is an opportunity for me. I do have places that I help. And I want to do more. So what's your vision or your future vision in this organization? It can deliver because it's in your control. It's in your control. It's not about your upline. It's not about your sideline. It's not about your downline. It's not about any line. It's about you. Why WFG? It's your story to tell. What are the benefits of sharing your story? There are no objections. It's my story. The story I just tell you now, you can't raise your hand and say, Antoinett, that's not true. It's my story. I went through it. It's my story. Nobody's going to object it. And sharing my story, it gives me the opportunity to talk to more people. Every time I sit in front of a person, I'm looking at how can I help them? How can I help you? Because I know that the outcome is going to be also me. Whichever way I go, I still get compensated, but how can I help this person in the right way? In a way that 15 years, 16 years, you are still here, people can still be sending you referrals. The way you're conducting your business right now, 3-4 years from now, would they give you referrals? How can you help somebody? People can urge products, but people can argue products, but they can never argue your story. They can't argue your story. People can argue the product, say, no, this is better. Transamerica is better than the Nationwide. But they can never argue your story. It is yours. Are you utilizing your story? Are you sharing your story? Everybody has a story. You came from somewhere. You struggled one way or the other. You may be still struggling right now, and you have the vehicle that takes you to where you want to go. I was never born in WFG. When I saw WFG, I saw it as a vehicle that takes me to where I want to go. Use this vehicle to reach out to the community, make sure that no family is left behind, make progress, because also sharing your story, you have to be making progress. But at the same time, when you share because mostly your story is things that has happened in the past. You do have that. There's no PowerPoints or slides needed to share your story. You don't have to think about your story. You have it. But the only thing is a lot of us, we don't want to be associated with our past. We feel that we've gone through so much in life that I would rather don't even bring it up. I would rather don't even share that side of me. Me, on the other hand, I can talk to everything that moves. It's more like therapy for me. I can share you my story and I feel better after. But I know that I'm inspiring somebody. I'm inspiring somebody. Stories sell, facts tell. A lot of times we go around with facts, but we are not selling. Stories closes. How do you make people feel? How do you make people feel? Facts tell. Most of the time we're looking for facts. Every slide, every presentation, the next best presentation, the next best change. But you are failing to realize that within those presentations, within those talking to people, you have to sell your story. You have to share with people. And I can tell you, in life, I've gone through different things. Besides being an orphan, which I relate to people, my marriage failed, which I relate to people. My job was terrible. I was almost into bankruptcy, which I can relate to somebody. I was trying to do my grocery and I had no money to pay for it, which I can relate to some people. You guys understand there are so many things you go through in life that you can relate to somebody, pay time. So you have to be able to be in a place where you pivot to be able to connect with them. And if you don't have your story, you can borrow somebody's story. I know this lady that has gone through this. I can only imagine what they went through. My crusade is to make sure no family is left behind. When I heard her story, it pushed me to say, hey, we have to reach out to the community. So you don't have a story. Maybe I was born without a silver spoon on my mouth. In fact, I even was born with a plastic spoon, nothing, no spoon when I was born. Some of you was born with a spoon on your mouth, a silver one. Me, there was no spoon when I was born. That's how bad things were. So you can borrow my story. I know this lady, where she come from, but this is where she is now. Hearing her story has moved me to want to be part of her crusade, to reach out to the community, to make sure that no family is left behind. There we go. You have already connected. This is like heart-to-heart connection while you're sharing your presentation. And then you can duplicate your story. You can keep going, keep talking. Sharing your story is very, very important. Be it in business partners, sharing your story either with your clients. I share my story with my children. As I'm growing, with my children growing, they understand where mommy came from. They understand the things that she went through, and they are working together with mommy to make a difference in the community, to be somebody, to be better than where mommy came from.
They became a millionaire. Most people never noticed.
So, are you honest with yourself sharing your story?
It was a simple habit repeated for many years.
You need to be able to write out your story by answering these 4 questions. Write your story, the 4 questions that we spoke about, which is here. Write your story by answering these questions here. I'm going to go back. What did you used to do? How did you get introduced to the platform? How has the platform impacted your life?
You followed a rule.
What do you see this business doing for your future
his earnings,
and help others?
large amount,
You should be able to write that story by answering those 4 questions.
local library. He spent hours
Record yourself
being complicated at first.
reading the answers to the 4 questions.
Soon,
I've been in this industry for the last 16 years now.
he did not expect instant.
So,
His goal
of course, now it comes natural.
was year after year.
It comes very natural. Maybe in the beginning for you, you're trying to find out, what's my story? Why am I here? Some of you may like, I never suffered, I'm fine. But there must have been a moment in time where you have experienced something, or you have seen somebody going through. Some of you that are nurses, you have seen a lot of patients struggling with health issues,
Growing well, he never
and they did not have protection.
an old car,
Your crusade is to make sure that nobody goes through what you saw.
suspected anything.
You want to make sure everybody's protected.
He checked his investment account as usual.
What if something happens to you today?
The number made him stop.
Is it important that your lifestyle does not get altered? You're asking the question.
If they arrived,
What if something, I always tell people, I say, listen, you don't have insurance? That's great.
but his
But
account had completely changed.
do you want to make sure that your lifestyle for your children remains the same if you go and shake hands with the Lord tomorrow? Because 100% the lifestyle is going to change. You are the most greatest asset, not your house, to your children. Right now, your husband and wife, you're working based on 2 income. What if one person is gone? You're going to go look for 2 jobs to maintain the same lifestyle. Do you want to downsize because the other person is not there? That's going to cause somebody to start thinking. You say, I know somebody. You're now sharing a story. I know somebody. They were living this way. Look for a story that it's not a fiction, because I have stories that I know, some people that I've seen. The husband died, and there was no beneficiary on some of the investments. Everything went to estate. Everything went to estate. Now I tell people, make sure whatever product you have, make sure there's a beneficiary on it. And make sure the product is also bypass the probate and estate. They're like, Antoinett, this is what I have, this is what I have. Okay, let's look at it. And I always tell people that I don't want you to change what you have. My job is to make sure that your financial home is fully built. Maybe the windows are open. Maybe the door is missing. Maybe the roof is cracking. It's just for me to fill in the space. I don't want people to cancel what they have before if it's good. It's just to make sure that we make everything to make a good financial home, from the foundation to the roof. So your stories comes in from there, because you'll make sure that no family, a lot of people are leaving family behind because they don't know how to relate or sharing a testimony for somebody. You can't just be sharing a testimony that does not apply to the person. You have to make sure that the testimony or your story you're sharing apply to that person per time, because they want to know how you make them feel. You can't go with one testimony every single time. This person already have those products. You are sharing the same testimony. It's not going to move them. It's not going to move them. Meet with your trainer for feedback within a week. Within the week. Record yourself telling your story in 2 minutes. If it's a 2-minute story, don't go over that. Remember, I told you guys, when I meet somebody in the elevator or I meet somebody in church, somewhere quick, I need a phone number. You cannot start telling about where you come from, the village you were born. Before you get to halfway from leaving that village to the city, they are bored because they are in a hurry. So you need to be able to know when to tell your story. If you're making a phone call to somebody, to be able to get a number or to book an appointment with your family friends, that's not the time to tell your whole 9-yard story. By the time you finish, they don't even know where you start. They're wondering, where are you going with this? So you can just be sharing your story in drops per time. You need to master the art of sharing your story. You need to master the art of sharing your story. This training today was not very long. It was a very short storytelling, but I hope that you guys have got some nuggets that you can go out there, do your homework, write down your story, be sharing it as you are presenting, as you are talking to your team, as you are building your business, as you are raising your children. Storytelling, it works because it's something that how you make them feel, and they are going to react to that. And I don't know if anybody has any questions or anybody wants to say something, but again, this was a very, very short. I hope you guys took some nuggets from it. Sister Mavis.
Thank you so much, Antoinett. I think somebody put something in the chat that if you can please do that 2 minutes elevator page again.
So if I'm speaking to Mr. Bumi here, I say, hi, Bumi, how are you doing? My name is Antoinett. I recently started working in the financial service industry. We educate families on how money works. My crusade is to make sure that no family left behind. I would love to have a few minutes of your time to share with you in detail who I am, what I do, and how I help families. Can we exchange numbers? I'll give you a call and explain more in detail. Or I can just say, hi, Bumi, how are you doing? My name is Antoinett. I work in the financial service industry, and my office is expanding. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. I'm looking for people of like-minded people. When I looked at you, you look like somebody that's very much a business person, a business-minded person. I wanted to have time to share with you more in detail who I am, what I do, and how I help families in the financial service industry. If you see value in it, you can give me some referrals. It may be for you, it may not be for you, but I guarantee you, you're going to learn something from it. And then I get the phone number. We exchange numbers from there, and I move on to the next.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I hope I answered the question. Anybody has any questions? I know Mrs. Melvis is not here. Sean is not here. Yes, Sylvie.
Wow, 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 wow. That was an amazing training. Oh my God. Thank you, Ms. Antoinetta. We appreciate you.
You're
I have a
welcome.
quick question. What if you meet somebody who have been in the industry, who have a license, and for some reason, at some point they stop, believing in themselves and the business, and yeah, their license is almost like inactive. They don't believe in the dream anymore. Maybe there was somewhere where they were not really properly mentored, or they really understand the business and they don't want to hear anything. How do you proceed when you meet somebody like this to
So
bring
I
them
met
back?
somebody like that. Now she's in the business back again. So I met with her. I allowed her to share her grievances, what happened, what made her. So without me trying to say, no, this is not what we do. We are better at this. And I allowed her to share what happened. She shared everything that happened. I said, oh, that's very unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I said to them, listen, WFG runs an independent agents. I am WFG, you are WFG, the other person is WFG, but the difference is everybody is doing their business in a different way. For me, as a financial professional in World Financial Group, I run my business with integrity. I just want to have a time maybe to share with you how I do my business. Because we're running a voluntary army. Everybody has their own way of running their business. Maybe the experience that you heard from somebody, it was a person that did not have an integrity, and maybe they didn't have a vision. I've been in this industry for this much. My crusade is to make sure that no family is left behind. I actually take joy in helping my, people that comes in the organization to grow, to make a difference in their lives. So when I told her, it's like, I don't want to do it again. I'm really, it's not for me. I said, no problem. Let's get together again. So I allowed her to share everything that she went through. I said, I'm so sorry. I apologize on behalf of my fellow agents, but that's not the way to do it. Here's what I do. I said, why don't you give it another try? It will be different. And now she's telling everybody, I'm glad I came back. I'm so grateful to Antoinett. She gave me this opportunity again. The reason I started, now she remembered her why she started before. She's back. She's very excited. So even though people have said, I've heard about WFG. I don't want to talk to anybody. It could be clients. You say, listen, unfortunately, there's always a bad seed in every grain. 1 teaspoon of poison can spoil the whole river. But I want to tell you that every single person runs their business the way they see fit. I personally, the way I do my business, then I tell them what I do. Give me an opportunity to explain. And sometimes when I do a presentation, they say, but yours is different. Wow, this is different. The way you're explaining, the way you say it. So as long as you're running your business with honest, with integrity, you will be able to even get some people to come back and be able to continue with their journey from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Emanuela.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful morning. Thank you for sharing your experiences. You know, when you find yourself in the shoe of someone else through the experience of that person, it brings your own life to light somehow. Thank you so much. My question is on the 2 minutes, on the 2 minutes story, where you want to collect a number, right? You want to connect with the person. And sometimes when you meet somebody for the first time and you want to get acquainted with that person, beginning with, I work in the financial industry, or I recently get licensed, or I am a financial professional, or whatever, seem to put that person off in paying attention to relate with you. Yes, so I want to, maybe the way you said it, like, it makes sense to me so much, like, but is there, getting acquainted with the person and collecting number, is there another form through which you say stuff like to collect the number, or this is just what you say, your quick connection?
No, there are different ways to say it. You can either ask disturbing questions. You can either ask about retirement, right? Or you can ask about the children's future. Is your retirement set? Are you financially where you thought you'll be by now? Is your children's education plan in place? Because you might meet somebody that have a child. So you could ask a question, you know, oh, wow, this is amazing. Your baby looks so cute. Let me ask you something. Is your children's plan in place? They say, what do you mean? I represent some of the financial service companies. We educate families on how money works. I want to have an opportunity to explain more in detail how to put your children's plan in place so when they are ready to go to school, they are not going to be having debt. So you could ask a question and they might respond, and then you can bring in what is it that you want. From there, you can either ask, you know, maybe they are working so hard. Oh, wow, you're working so hard. Yeah, we're just grinding. You know, are you happy where you are? I'm just paying the bills. Are you financially where you thought you'd be by now? Those are the questions that they always throw in. So you can be asking a curious question, and then you can bring in what you do and why you want to have a meeting with them. Okay.
So it's always good, like I'm meeting you for the first time, Miss Antoinett. I say, hi, Miss Antoinett, good morning, whatever time. My name is this. And then I go and put my elevate pitch and then wait for the response, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I can do that. And at the same time, again, when you meet with someone, you can compliment them. So there are so many ways. I used to go and change hairdressers. I changed hairdressers so many times. I would see somebody with nice hair. Oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. Oh, wow, who is the hairdresser? Can I have their number? And I say, okay, can we exchange your number just in case I can't get a hold of them? I can call you. You can help me to connect them. So I'll go do my hair. I'm talking to that person, sharing them my story. And then I call back the person that gave me a number. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I did my hair. It's amazing. Let me tell you something. This is who I'm about. Can I have? So now I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So really, there are so many ways of being able to talk to people, right? Sharing your story from there, approaching there are so many things to do. So you just have to every situation is different. It's a case by case. You need to scan the room to see, okay, what am I saying to this person? You can't run like Energizer Bunny with the same thing because it's not for everybody. Just like your story, you have many things that happened in life with you. It's not the whole from Genesis to Revelation that you have to share with one person. You have to scan the room and see, okay, which story am I going to talk to this person that they can relate with, especially once you tell your overview, a little bit of story up front. As you are doing a presentation, asking questions, they are responding to you, you can throw in your story inside, which also caused them to start to think about, wow, okay, I think this is something I need to do. You know, we have you ask questions as you're presenting, you can throw in your story in there based on how they answered. Say, wow, let me tell you something. Then you just throw in a 1 minute there. Then you keep going. What are you doing there? You're connecting with them. By the time you get to the end, you can say, my finding was there's this area in this area and that area that I feel that we need to have a follow-up appointment to discuss more in detail. So I know this is not a presentation time, but I'm just saying, you know, when you're doing from your story, either your presentation or your follow-up, this whole business format system, it actually connects. You need to be able to be very good at connecting and linking each and every step. All right, so I hope everybody got some few nuggets here and there. I know you've heard this story from everybody trains it differently, and you take one from this person, you take one from the other. Attending meetings has helped me to build something of my own, to be myself. So just you attend, you take one or two things, you apply. You don't go and change everything, and then you take time to learn what was taught. Then somebody shows up with another topic of story next week. You change then you're gonna spend a whole time changing things. You take one, maybe within that your story, you just need a little tweak. Don't go and now say, oh, wow, Antoinett said this is what she does in the elevator pitch. You now go with that. Maybe what you were saying, it works. Maybe there's just one word that you can add in what she said, you understand, and then continue. So anytime you're listening, just make sure that you take what works and apply it. But you don't want to remove your core foundation because it took you time to be where you are now. All right, Mr. Zibel.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
It was a privilege for me to be here today. Sincerely, I caught a lot of nugget. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Question is, how can you like connect with somebody who's like a high value client who think maybe they are already made up with financially? How can you really sell them the dream or put in that state of curiosity?
Okay, and somebody that you already know?
No, like cold market. Like somebody who thinks that maybe they're already fine to do it financially, or they have everything intact. So but they don't know about this opportunity because I believe a lot of people don't know. So I mean, those type of people, how can you like enter their mind? Or
you leverage somebody that's already on the same level as them. So instead of you, obviously, you can leverage someone. You can either, again, comment on something and say, oh, Mr. Zibel, you're doing so well. I love what you're doing in the real estate market. You're doing so great. Guess what? I know somebody that's in the other side of the financial service industry that has been helping people in the real estate market to build their wealth and protect it and transfer it to their loved ones. I saw you and I thought about you that you could benefit from what they do. So you could leverage somebody that maybe has been here for some time, and then you call them and say, either, I can give them your number and they can contact you. So maybe it's not you directly. If it's a cold market that you don't know, you can either observe something that you see, okay, they are so good and they are doing well in life, but you can either just say, ask a curious question. I'm just curious. Is your retirement set? With everything that you're doing, I'm sure your retirement is all set. And say, you know what? I recently found somebody. I thought about you because you're already up there, that you could benefit from what they do. The name of the person is Mr. This or Mrs. That. And then you link them up, then you can show up at the appointment as part of your field training.
Okay, ma'am.
So you leverage, because you can't do that by yourself. If it's difficult, you can leverage somebody.
Okay. So like if you meet somebody who maybe you have like 2 minutes or 1 minute to talk with them. Maybe somewhere like Walmart or on a playing ground. The park is for kids. And maybe they don't want to give enough time. Like, yes.
So that is part of prospecting, actually. So this is not part of the story. So that's part of prospecting. So there are scripts that you can use, which is within the prospecting side. So that's part of prospecting. So you may need to either reach out to your mentor so they can actually go through with you on different types of words you can use while you're doing prospecting, because you meet somebody in the parking lot, you won't need a number. It's not the time for you to share your story, it's the prospecting part. So you have to be able to know how to do that prospecting. How long have you been in the business?
I'm still a TA.
Okay, I advise you link up with your either SMD or the mentor above you and go over the prospecting part of it so they can be able to mentor you correctly. Otherwise, you don't want to be out there and talk and maybe miss everyone that you could have been a possible person with you. So go through the prospecting part of it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right, I know that today all the leaders are missing in action, so I am going to close if there's no other questions. Thank you so much, guys, for coming, and I'm hoping that you're going to, you took something, you learn, and be able to teach, apply it, and be able to teach it, and able to duplicate as well. So let's go out there, make sure that no family is left behind. That's our mission, no family left behind. So you don't want to leave anybody behind. Understand the entire format system. Story is just one of them. Apply it. Everything will work together for your good as time goes on. And one thing I can leave with you guys, if you're brand new here, do not quit. Everything was 10 feet above my head. When I started, things were blurry. I had no idea why I was here. Like you see, Isabel, the questions you're asking, I'm like, I don't even know where I am or what I'm doing. You feel like quitting every day. Sometimes I felt like it, but I stick through it. And eventually, because my goals were not met before, so I refused to leave until I see a change. Because I've seen other people that were in the business for a long time, their life had transformed. I said, until I see my life transformed, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to continue putting the bricks, layering the bricks. So make sure you keep doing things that you need to do every single time. You show up, you keep going, because if you have not reached where you need to be, then you are living halfway. How can you build a house and then halfway you walk away? You already invested so much. You might as well see that house finish. Just think about it as you're failing you in this business. You can never build a house and live without a door. How are you going to stay there? You need to complete the entire home. So if you're struggling at a particular level, just meet up with your mentor, sit down, ask questions, and go back. When you are talking to clients and they are saying no, sit down and say, what am I saying differently? How am I saying it different from the other person? Reach out to somebody, ask for information. They will be able to sit down with you and go back. I asked so many questions when I started. My mentor, I was just calling every single time, asking questions. And when I'm running for a promotion, I miss it twice. I missed it. I called my EVC. I said, what am I doing wrong? She said to me, how do you do the running? I told her, I said, no, that's wrong. You're supposed to do this way, this way, this way. I went back the third month, I got it. So sometimes you might be just doing things on your own. Ask, reach out. Find somebody that you can say, you know what, I'm asking and I'm reaching out. They will help you. They will have the best interest at heart for you. Everybody's going to win. Thank you, Village. Have a wonderful day. And I think we're going to close now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye,
so
everyone.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank
Have a
you.
blessed day, Village. Bye.
Awesome.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
good day,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. The rest of the day.
Welcome. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Have a blessed day. Thank you
You're
so
welcome. Have a good day.